Hey Pokemon fans, do you enjoy our content? If so, consider contributing to our Patreon. As little as $3 to $5 a month goes a long way, and it helps us to create content for years to come. While you're here, want to know the best place to purchase all your TCG needs? Sunshine Games has everything you need at unbeatable prices. Their location in Tampa, Florida is also the friendliest place to go to shop, play, and relax. Check out sunshinegamesonline.com or come by the shop. We'll see you tomorrow.
What is good, Pokemon fans? And here, hope you're all having a fantastic day. Hope you're all stretching, drinking water, and just taking care of yourselves in general. Because today we have a really awesome deck profile. We are going to be doing Lucario here. And Lucario, oh, it was actually one of my favorite Pokemons of all time. And it's still one of my favorite Pokemons. As a matter of fact, before Zoroark, which yes, this is a Lucario Zoroark deck and I'm really excited. Lucario was actually my favorite Pokemon of all time, and he got a pretty good card in this set. So let's go ahead and talk about it right here. And this is the regular rare version that you got from the build and battle kits, in case any of y'all are wondering why it's not hollow. So he's a 120 HP fighting type, good for hitting for RC's V and V-Star for weakness, guys. Keep that in mind. So it's got Roaring Resolve here. Now that ability is familiar because we had that on a Charizard at one point. Once during your turn, you may put 2 damage counters on this Pokemon. You search your deck for 1 fighting energy and attach it to this Pokemon. It sucks that it's not 2 energy like it was with Charizard, but Charizard is stage 2 and this is stage 1, so it balances out. And you have the attack Aura Sphere Valley, does 10 damage, and you discard all fighting energy from this Pokemon, it does 60 more. So in the long run, it's actually doing more damage than the Charizard. And again, stage 1 over stage 2. So that's really, really awesome here. So I am going to be running 4 copies of that because that's of course going to be the pressure of the deck. So this adds up very quickly. If you discard 2 energy, that's 130. If you discard 3, that's 190. That can one-shot some V. Not a lot. But there are some V Pokemon under that do get one-shotted by this. And if you're able to get to 4, that's 240, plus a 10, 250. That one-shots every regular V out there. And again, if you're going up against an Arceus V-Star deck, which it's pretty likely, that deck is getting very popular, you're not even going to need that many energy to one-shot. And we are also running 4 copies of Riolu here. And we are going to be running 3 copies of Zora and 3 copies of Zoroark. Now, I feel that this is actually a pretty good combination for the deck, because no matter how well you play this deck, it's a 120 single price Pokemon. It's going to get knocked out. Like, I'm going to be blunt, even really bad Pokemon decks can hit 120 in the single attack. It's not that difficult at all. So, rather than finding ways to keep it alive, just bring it back as often as you want. All thanks to Phantom Transformation. Once during your turn, you may choose a stage 1 Pokemon, except any Zoroark, and you discard all cards attached to this Zoroark and put that Pokemon in its place. So let's say you got a Zoroark here on the bench or in your active spot, and Lucario is just chilling in your discard. Boom. Boom. And then right there, you've got more firepower to work with again. Think of him as like a Revive or Monster Reborn for any of my Yu-Gi-Oh players out there. It's really, really awesome. I've seen some people pair this up with like Bidoof instead, and that's a good combination too, don't get me wrong. Like Bidoof is, Bidoof. Bibarel, there we go. I kept saying Bidoof, but you know what? Bidoof deserves the draw 5 up until you have 5 ability. Just get rid of Bibarel, just have Bidoof with all the abilities. Oh man. And we are running 1 copy of the Manaphy here. Wave Veil, prevent all damage onto your bench Pokemon by attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. So it's essentially Bench Barrier Mew back again. Which for these 1 prizer decks, this was absolutely needed. So really, really glad we have this back again. And last 2 Pokemon is going to be Crobat V and Lumineon V. Draw till you have 6 and just get a supporter. Like I said, I'm still not entirely sure on the Lumineon yet. I've heard some people say that unlike Tapu Lele, you can't really do anything with the attack, which it's true. It's true you can, but being able to search a supporter is still really awesome. So If you guys don't want to run Lumineon and Crobat, you want to keep this purely a one prizer deck, then feel free to take these out for anything else too. So that does it for the Pokemon lineup here. And now we're going to get to our supporters. Supporter lineup is pretty standard in this deck. We are going to be running 4 copies of Professor's Research. And pretty standard stuff. 3 copies of Raihan. Any one prize deck out there, Raihan is an absolute must. Like 3 copies of Raihan at minimum. At minimum. And another really great thing for one prizer decks, 3 copies of Gloria. Now we just got this card from Brilliant Stars and it's really good for one prizer decks. So you search your deck for up to 3 basic Pokemon that don't have a rule box and put them onto your bench. So it's essentially like Bridget again, for those of you who remember way back then. And obviously you can't get the Lumineon and the Crobat, but you could get your you could get your Riolus, get your Zoras, get your Manaphy, get whatever you need. It's a really, really good card here. I'm really liking this, and guys, one thing I can tell you right now, this is going to be a staple for one prizer decks. It's just too good. We've got, and next up here, you got 2 copies of Boss's Orders. Don't even need to find that one. And that does it for the supporter lineup here. Nothing too heavy, just the basic stuff. Alrighty, 4 copies of Ultra Ball, along with 4 copies of Evolution Incense. Now, I've seen some people like run less Ultra Ball and running still the Evolution Incense and the Quick Ball, which, that's fine, that makes sense. Discarding 1 versus discarding 2 is good, but I just like having the versatility, you know? And since it's an Evolution-based deck, of course I would want to still run the Evolution Incense. We are going to also be running 3 copies of Choice Belt. Now, this card is freaking awesome. Your Pokemon's attacks do 30 more damage to Pokemon V. So this brings the one-shot potential that much closer. So essentially when this is equipped, think of that plus 10 as a plus 40. So think of it as like 40 plus like 60 more for each energy you discard. So that damage adds up super quick. And it is really awesome. We're going to be running 2 copies here of Energy Recycler. Since we have to discard a lot of energy every single time we attack with Lucario, it's good to have these in here. You can run Ordinary Rod if you want to discard to bring back Pokemon. But personally, I felt that with the Zoroark line in here, that wouldn't really be necessary. But one card that is really awesome here is going to be 4 copies of Energy Switch. Now, the reason I have Energy Switch in here is that since the Lucario here only accelerates 1 energy from the deck, you want to have multiple Lucario outs, which with Zoroark, that becomes a lot easier. And then you just keep using the ability on each of those Lucarios, play the Energy Switch to bring it to your active, and that's how you're one-shotting the big V-Stars, and possibly even V-Maxes that much quicker. One card I did kind of think about, but I decided against it in the end, was running B, or Bae, however you pronounce her name. You mill the top 5 and any, I believe it's any fighting energy or any energy, or any basic energy you get to put to your bench fighting Pokemon or active. I don't remember the full thing, but I did decide against it because it's not guaranteed you'll hit the energy. Not to mention that's still a lot of cards to mill in a deck where you thin out pretty quick. So that's my reasoning behind that, but you're more than welcome to try to be if you would. And for stadiums, I am running 2 copies of Path to the Peak. So honestly, this would be what I recommend you put more of if you don't want the Lumineon or Crobat V in the deck. Path to the Peak would be what I definitely recommend. And if I'm being honest with you, I might actually take out those 2 and put more Path to the Peak, because being able to shut down the multiple prizer decks while still taking those knockouts, it's a great thing. So for my energy count up, I am running 3, 5, 6. We are running 12 copies here of basic fighting energy because you want to keep that energy acceleration going as much as possible, not to mention just that you're always discarding it. Yes, you have energy recycler, but personally, I would have a high count of energy. I would say you could get away with running 10, but I would not do less than 10. That's just my personal pick. Obviously, you guys build to whatever fits your style. Ooh. Hey, we got a subscription here for 32 months in a row for Fancy. Thank you so much for that. Really appreciate that. That's a pretty good way to end the deck profile there with a subscription. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me here on what's possibly going to be my favorite deck of this new format, because it literally consists of my 2 all-time favorite Pokemon. So of course I'm going to be playing the heck out of this. Mainly on TCG, obviously. There's not really much live play going on right now, but definitely it is good if you guys are able to do some like local Pokemon tournaments, or if you're just hanging out with your friends and you want to play some live Pokemon trading card game. But if you are going to your locals, guys, like as always, just be careful, be healthy, be sanitized, just be careful and take care of yourselves. Wait, what? Redeem the SpongeBob fail. Sure. Okay, that's also a way to end the video. Alright, you guys have a fantastic day. Be sure to hydrate, stretch, give yourself breaks, and just take care of yourselves. We love all of y'all out there, and we appreciate you guys watching us all this time. So with that, take care, and have a fantastic rest of your day.